Hey guys, I want to show you how we make our spinach salad. Super easy. It's just 4 ingredients. We've got our spinach, we've got our raspberry vinaigrette dressing, we have candied pecans, and gorgonzola cheese. Now in other videos I've already shown you how we make the raspberry vinaigrette and the candied pecans. At this step what we're doing is just assembling everything. It's very easy. Now the salad comes in 2 sizes, and you see I've measured out 2 different portion sizes here. I also have 2 different in-house plates and 2 different to-go jewel cases. Now, the in-house version and the to-go version are very similar. The only difference is that we always put the dressing on the side in the to-go version because otherwise the dressing would wilt the leaves. So it's very, very easy. Let's make a to-go salad real quick. I've already portioned out all the ingredients. Now, you're not going to have these portioned out. Probably you're going to have them just on the line. And do consult your recipe sheets. You want to get the measurements of this as accurate as possible, and that takes a little bit of practice. Now, all I'm going to do now is just sort of fluff up the leaves to get it as high as possible. Otherwise, these have a tendency to just look flat, and you don't want that. People want to feel like they're buying something, not just a bunch of dead leaves at the bottom. We always put our pecans at the top. Again, if they're going to float to the bottom anyway, but if they floated to the bottom too soon, then it would look like we're just selling them a box of lettuce. Wouldn't be very appealing. I'm going to fill up a to-go container. Give it a little cover here. Now we usually put a little bit more dressing in the to-go container than we normally would on a regular house salad, just because the container won't look so great if it's half filled. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the gorgonzola cheese here. There's several different kinds of gorgonzola cheese. One version that you may have seen is crumbly. We don't use the crumbly version. We use the creamy version. And sometimes the creamy version can be a little bit difficult to deal with because it's kind of sticky. We've tried various versions of how to portion it out, how to separate it. We've tried scoops and spoons and a variety of things, but even little pastry bags. But in the end, we find that it's just as easy if we just portion it out, we glove our hand, and we put little portions in it. So in the to-go versions, we just divide it into small little chunks. So in this to-go version, I'm dividing it into 5 or 6 little chunks here. Now, when we're doing the plated version, since our plate is square, now obviously I've portioned out the large salad dressing right here, but I'm just going to show you that I normally would be scooping the exact same portion, which takes a little bit of getting used to how to measure that by eye. So always consult the scale. Practice every once in a while, pulling one out, guessing what look at the spec weight. It's 50 grams of something. You put it on a scale, you measure it out yourself, and you see how close you were. Great way to practice. So I scoop it out, and now I'm just going to portion it on the sides of the plates here. And again, this is just because our plate happens to be square. Decoratively, it just looks good this way. If I was doing the large salad in a to-go version, I'd probably divide this into 8 or 9 little pieces, just because that's what looks best in that presentation. Okay, let's dress our large house salad here. So I've got my spinach, and I'm just going to use a metal mixing bowl. Now you can see I've already got dressing in this mixing bowl. You don't need to use a fresh, clean bowl every single time you make a salad. You should get a clean bowl every few hours. And you always want to have one bowl for each salad. So we have a house salad, or we have a Caesar salad. Those would be in separate bowls. But this bowl is dedicated just for spinach salads. So it's already lined and coated with raspberry dressing from previous salads that I've made. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to divide my portion of raspberry dressing into what I'm going to mix in with the leaves versus what I'm going to pour on the top. You grab the portion for the large salad. Okay, so I put most of it in the bowl. And you want to make sure your leaves are good and coated. You don't want them super soggy. You can see that tiny amount and how wet the leaves are already. You don't need much, but you do want to make sure your leaves are coated. Now, when the leaves are wet like this, they're a little harder to stack up high, and they do have a tendency to want to sort of sit flat on the plate. And of course, we want them to sit as high as possible so people can feel like they're getting the most value. Look at that. Looks great. Looks great. I'm going to put on my candied pecans now. Killing my nice pile. It's okay. And I've got my gorgonzola cheese on. And now I'm just going to portion on the last little bit of salad dressing. I'm just going to do it from the squeeze bottle. This is the amount, but I'm going to pour the same amount from the squeeze bottle just so you can see how I do it. I just want to do a couple of lines across. I also want to mention about how you deal with the salad dressing. The dressing does have a tendency to separate. The oil floats to the top, especially if it's cold, been sitting in the fridge overnight. What you want to do is you want to take a bottle out about an hour before you're going to use it. And then once you're ready to use it, you want to give it a real good shake. And you can shake it up at any time. However, once the dressing becomes too warm, it's been sitting out too long, you can shake all you want, it's still not going to emulsify. So what you want to do is you want to take out a bottle a little bit before the shift, give it a shake it up during the shift, use it for a couple of hours. Then you can just go ahead and pull out another bottle, let it start warming up to be used during the next part of the cycle. And then when the other bottle's ready, you take the first bottle and you put it back in the fridge, and then that will chill up again. So that's just a little tip on how to deal with the dressing. So that's it. That's our spinach salad. Now, the reason that we dollop on a little bit of dressing at the end is that it creates a couple of areas where there's a concentration of dressing in your mouth, and not just the small amount that's coated on the leaves, and that adds a variety of flavors and textures in the mouth. The only other thing I want to mention about the salad is that customers will occasionally add spinach or chicken to the salad. I personally don't think those go that well because the meats are savory and the dressing on the salad is very sweet. However, customers will do it, and we let them do it. Consult the next video on the house salad for how we plate those meats. Thanks, guys.